Hi, everybody. Brian Mastre from the First Alert 6 Alert Center with the latest on breaking news from all afternoon. This involves the protester that was hit in Fremont by a red SUV. We have new video into the newsroom. That's why we wanted to show this to you. Let me get this up here. It is from a different angle if you're familiar with what the previous one was. So first I'll show you the old one, okay? This is the initial one that we saw, and I'm going to walk you through this, okay? So this is in Fremont High School. Pretty busy road here. It's about a half hour after the protest had started. So you see this red SUV. It has a Trump 2024 flag. The school administration was aware that this protest over ICE was happening. Now I'll play it right here. So this is from News Channel Nebraska. So it goes forward there, and if you see up in the upper left of your screen, that is where a young woman is hit from the front of the car. She stopped, the car stops. You see this school official, perhaps a security official, we're not sure, asks for the car to stop. They do, puts his hand on the hood, and then the car takes off and zooms out of there. And then you'll see we'll pan back here to the young woman on the ground. The protesters, the ICE protesters, gather around, try to make sure she is okay. Here's the other video. So this is from a different angle, and trying to be gratuitous here. We're just trying to give you the best idea of the real action that was going on here. So if you see there, you see the three individuals that are aware of what happened, and then they take back off. Now, we've been starting to get some information into the newsroom in terms of what investigators have said. So we talked to the Fremont police chief here a little bit ago. They said likely no updates tonight, likely more updates tomorrow. We specifically asked if they had caught the driver, and the chief said he could not answer that with this investigation ongoing. Now, we've also heard from a number of individuals, lawmakers through all of this. One of the first ones to weigh in was Congressman Mike Flood. He said, "This is not what we do in Nebraska. This is not okay. The video of the girl being hit by a car at the school protest is disturbing. While initial reports say that girl was alert and talking when she was taken away, we are praying for her well-being. The incident needs to be fully investigated by law enforcement. It's critical that our country preserve the ability of people to safely protest." Governor Pillen weighed in a bit later, saying it's a fundamental truth we should all agree upon. Political violence, no matter what, is never okay. There's a lot about this particular situation we still need to learn. We trust that local law enforcement will carry out a thorough and complete investigation. The freedom to peacefully assemble is a cornerstone of American government and must be protected. We will continue to monitor this situation and pray for the health of the girl who was hit. Again, we came back on here in the First Alert 6 Alert Center to bring up that different angle of the video. And we'll put it through here one more time. So she had a sign there. It looked like somebody removed the Trump flag from the red SUV. She was talking, she was moving around. The SUV gets out there. You can see the disbelief on the faces of the individuals. This was the one that we saw earlier from News Channel Nebraska, where you can almost see so the video that I saw, the initial one, shows the driver getting into the vehicle here. So the driver was out. The reporters on the scene said that that individual, who looked like a high schooler himself, had been talking to the demonstrators and then got back into the car, and then in real time sits there. The windows are down on the other side, as we saw, so they might have been saying some things, and then went forward. It looked as though the driver was looking forward there. Again, it's a Dodge County plate, so it's not anybody from out of town. There were 3 young men in there. There's what appears to be the school official right there in front of the car trying to get them to stop. What's interesting is while the police chief says that they can't answer that if they had caught the driver tonight, there's no reason why they do not know who this driver is. Many people probably had cameras there taking pictures of a license plate, knew one of the 3 in the vehicle, and if they're students, clearly this individual who was trying to get the vehicle to stop would, again, know who those individuals were. Again, this happened outside Fremont High School about a half hour after the protest is scheduled to start. The pedestrian was clearly in the road. Tonight we had a First Alert 6 crew that was at the high school talking to some people hours after it took place. The individuals that we caught up with were not at the protest, and they seemed to think they had the opinion that it was the individual getting in front of the car who shouldn't have done that. So we show you that second video. I'm not going to show it to you again because we're trying to highlight an example of what investigators are going to be looking through. But for the sake of the young woman, we're hoping that she is okay, but we don't have to blast that all over. So it wasn't just that school official that we saw that was trying to get people to pull over, but it was other individuals as well that were trying to, like, hey, just stop. Now, here's what we don't have. We don't have the video of what took place right before that, right? We don't see the back and forth between the driver and those who were protesting. It looks as though the individual who was struck by the vehicle wasn't even in that initial group. It looked like she was just up ahead maybe several feet and came walking back down to see maybe what was going on, or she had her sign out. You saw that kind of go underneath the vehicle there, and perhaps it had something on it that she wanted them to see. I'm not sure. We tried to look and zoom in. It looked as though the driver was staring straight ahead, but it wasn't like there was any care or consideration, I have to admit. When you have a whole bunch of people around and you're busy in an area, I think for most of us drivers, we don't floor it. And this looks like they're just trying to get out of there when they take off. And then even here, where it looks like there was another second of pause, they still barreled out of there just to keep hightailing it. Again, the Fremont Public Schools issued a statement later today. They confirmed this student-led protest was not school-sponsored. They were supervising because they said they wanted to ensure that students were safe and peaceful. The idea, like I said, it was scheduled. The students were planning that walkout out of Fremont High around 2 p.m. to protest the ICE immigration enforcement, specifically what's been happening in Minneapolis. The school describes it as one point a few students entered the street. One student was hit by a car that stopped in front of the crowd and then began moving. And then the district says that sorry, that's on autoplay. The district says that they value their relationship with our first responders and their help today. This is from Superintendent Dr. Brad Dahl, and that we will continue to work together to keep our students and community safe. Senator Ricketts responded later today as well, saying that he was praying for the student and that we must remember that we can disagree politically, but not resort to violence as a response. And he expects that all high school administration will make sure all students have a safe and productive learning environment and take appropriate disciplinary actions when necessary. So, a lot of questions we still don't have at this hour. We don't have a condition on the young woman. We don't know if investigators even talked to the driver yet of that red SUV. If they have there been any charges filed against that driver? Was there anything else that happened into this when this back and forth was going on with the protesters and the three individuals with the Trump flag and the windows down? You could tell that it looked like that they were having a back and forth with the demonstrators. These are questions that we hope we could answer for you, perhaps even tonight. I suspect that we probably won't have those answers until at least sometime tomorrow. It looks as though the police chief was going to be working on some stuff, but probably not giving us any updates until they end up maybe getting all the ducks in a row to be able to figure out which direction they want to go. When you're talking about prosecution, if that is involved here, county attorney gets involved with that to try to figure out what the best course of action is for that. And some of it also depends on the seriousness of the injuries. Okay, that does it for us here at the First Alert 6 Alert Center. I'm Brian Mastre. We'll have the latest coming up at First Alert 6 at 10. Of course, we're always available online and on our app. Just dial that up. That's free, and you can follow this story. And certainly, there's going to be a lot more to this tomorrow. Take care.